like the word say, it's buyer. It's actually consulting with the buyer instead of showing the home to a buyer. We're not a showing agent. We first sit down and we do what's called a consult with the buyer.
That's what buyer consultation is about. Actually, we call it to help you, to know you, to help you better. That's the form, is to help you better.
Alka and Sanjeev Aneja, the brother-sister duo on ITV Gold every Friday at 8 p.m. or catch the repeat on Sunday at 8 p.m. Trust the expertise of On Track Realty since 1994, and you can contact them at 732-494-2211. Our seasoned guests are Sanjeev Aneja, lead broker and owner of On Track Realty, experienced and distinguished with past roles like President of Middlesex County Association of Realtors, New Jersey Realtor of the Year, and New Jersey Real Estate Commissioner. Joining him is, of course, our beautiful Alka Aneja, who is an award-winning salesperson with 30 plus years experience, and she's also the president of Humbled by Your Service charity, and who is also known for Soul Talks with Alka on YouTube. Once again, welcome. How are you guys doing today?
We're good. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful, and thank you for bringing all these lovely sweets.
You're welcome. दाने दाने पे लिखा है खाने वाले का नाम.
बिल्कुल, और इस दाने पे मेरा नाम लिखा था.
We ate too, so.
This is really the beginning of all the festivities in the Hindu calendar, right? Ganesh Chaturthi, Janmashtami, everything comes, so we're marking the...
Next week is Radha Ashtami. A lot of people don't know about Radha, but Radha Ashtami is very big in Vrindavan area and Barsana area at all.
Right.
So it's Janmashtami, many people celebrate. Radha Ashtami somehow, now it's getting popular, but a lot of people never knew about it. So
I guess you celebrate a lot of events, and I know you have an upcoming event which is going to be coming soon.
This Saturday. Time flies, yeah. So our client appreciation event is this Saturday.
Yes.
If you are a client, you haven't RSVP'd, please do, and please do come. And we want to thank you and serve you.
Yep, we're here because of you, and we hope to see you there on Saturday, 4 to 7 p.m.
And we're doing Radha Ashtami, Janmashtami celebration in that time frame too. So we're mixing two things. We'll make it fun.
So, let's start with our show. I have been hearing this word a lot, like buyer's consultation. What does that mean?
Actually, you might have heard from us. A lot of people don't talk about it. So buyer consultation, Alka will take it over, but it's something that a lot of good agents do it. But Alka, you go ahead.
Sure. So like the word say, it's buyer. It's actually consulting with the buyer instead of showing the home to a buyer. We're not a showing agent. We first sit down and we do what's called a consult with the buyer, where we discuss what are they looking for, what type of home they want, what type of visa are they on. If you start looking for a home now and your visa, H-1B visa is expiring in 6 months, 8 months, you may or may not be able to get a mortgage. What if you get an inquiry on your visa? Do you really want to get into a home buying process until you get an extension? So we talk about all those questions. We talk about mortgage. We talk about how long your lease is, what type of a home you should buy, what should be the qualification process. So it takes about 35 minutes.
Right.
35 minutes.
So the goal of the consultation is just one.
Yes.
Knowing you so that we can help you better. See, the thing is, a lot of time what people do is they'll go to internet, search a home, call an agent. Now, here's a big thing. I think we talked about it before. Don't just call an agent because you saw a listing on internet. These people have these preferred agents who have paid them. They're not good, or maybe they are good. You're not guaranteed a good agent there. You're guaranteed an agent who's paying them a lot of money to be seen as a referral agent. So be careful. Hire the right agent when you call. So, but our consultation again is to understand, to serve you better. But while we're talking about this, I also want to know, especially our Indian community might be seeing this on TV a lot. There are these companies, they say, we sell so much, call us, we'll give you an agent. They are doing nothing. Their agents are subscribing to them. They are charging a fee. You're not getting anything good. So Be very careful. Don't call these companies and tell them, give us an agent. Go to a local agent, go to an agent in that area who's good. Good is important because anybody can show you a home, but who is really taking care of your interest? We don't want to sell you a home if you're going to move in 2 years. You're going to lose money on your home unless the market appreciates the way it has done in 2 years, which we don't think it will happen again. But again, nobody has the crystal ball. Unless you're going to live in the home for 3 to 4 to 5 years, buying a home for next a year too, you are about to lose money on it, and especially if the market goes down.
The only exception to that is if you're going to live in the home for 1 or 2 years, use that as your rental investment and then buy your bigger home. So remember when we spoke about it, that instead of renting to continue to rent, you buy a condo instead of a 2-bedroom apartment, and then you use that condo as an investment property. So in that particular case, you will not be losing money because you're not really selling. What Bhaiya is talking about is if you buy it and you sell within the 2 years, then we will be sitting down. And so just a
So
short
let's say you were on
clarification.
H-1B visa,
Yeah.
and now the visa doesn't get extended and you have to leave. You're not sure, what Alka was saying, it is expiring in 6-8 months. Now you may be losing money on it.
Yes.
You think you'll have a job transfer to some other country, and you don't want to manage the property back home, the first one. You may have to sell it. You think you want to buy another home, but you cannot afford to buy another home without selling this because you have mortgage on this and the mortgage company considers both of them. So there are so many scenarios we want to talk to you about. That's what buyer consultation is about. Actually, we call it to help you, to know you, to help you better. That's the form, is to help you better. More we know about you, there are needs and there are wants. Needs are important in a home. Wants are just that, wants. How much can we compromise on wants based on the price, based on the inventory available? That's what our team does. So don't just call an agent and say, show me that home. You're about to make a biggest mistake. Unless you know all these answers already, you're a third-time home buyer. And you know all these things. Maybe you don't care about all that. But if you're a first-time home buyer, this consultation is so valuable to you. Unfortunately, a lot of people will call from internet and saying, show me that home because it looks good to me. Home may be looking good to you, but does it fit the criteria?
Right.
Does it take care of you, which is the most important thing?
Absolutely. And no one's saying you shouldn't see the home. What we're saying is instead of doing the immediate gratification of just taking a look at the home and moving on, sit down and talk to the agent and say, okay, you know what? I want to talk about the next steps and I want to know what's going to happen and I want to know the procedure, and let them spend 30, 35 minutes with you.
Right. And sometimes we go an hour, 15 minutes. We've had long consultations because one thing discovers another. You peel the onion, there is another layer, and then there's another layer. But remember, we don't get paid for that extra hour.
Yeah.
But we want to spend that extra hour for you, for you.
Absolutely.
So since you're talking about to find the right agent, and that is the beginning of the process, especially for the first-time home buyers. So tell me, how can a person, especially the credentials and everything, how can a person and what can a person look for in a right real estate agent?
First thing is an agent who has been referred to you by a friend, by a relative, saying this is a good agent. Now, you also want to make sure you're not being referred because somebody is getting paid by that agent. There are legalities in there. Agents shouldn't be paying. You cannot pay unlicensed people. Unfortunately, the world of money, you don't know if you're getting referred. Are you getting referred because the agent is genuinely good, or has the agent done something to reward that person to get the referrals? That's one. But just because somebody referred to you does not guarantee the agent will be in sync with you.
Absolutely.
So a very good agent may not be right for you because somehow that agent is just not, the vibes are not meeting for whatever reason.
You didn't mesh, you didn't connect. It's essentially, for the lack of a better word, it's a marriage for a few months, right? Because you're going to be talking to each other about your preferences. You're going to be talking to each other about what you want. So you want to make sure that you connect and that person is going to be looking out for your interests. And if that's not happening, or you don't feel that that's happening, then you want to maybe check out the Zillow reviews and Google reviews and see, okay, what is that person doing? And if even that's something, go meet them. And we are all very educated. You can see somebody's eyes and know whether they're honest or not, right? Interview them. Absolutely every agent is okay to be interviewed. Interview them and choose the right agent, because that agent is going to be helping them. The client appreciation picnic that we're doing, these clients go back with us 25, 30 years and have bought and sold multiple times. And that's what we pride ourselves in saying, you know what, we have client relationships, because it doesn't come easy, but it's something that's well worth it.
Right. So is the agent rude to you? Is the agent not listening to you? Is the agent not returning your phone calls? All these things are important. If the agent is pushing a buyer contract to you, saying, sign this, and for next 3 months you're stuck with me. You cannot go and buy any place without me. And then they're not even available to you. In fact, I think let's talk about it. Do not sign a buyer agency agreement. That's an agreement that ties a buyer into non-performance. And now you go and find something else. This agent never told you about it, but they want to be paid for it.
Wow.
Don't do it. And there are companies, these are company policies in some companies, that they will have a paper signed for you. It's called buyer agency agreement. Do not sign it, because you're getting stuck with that wrong person. Or maybe the agent is perfect, but you're getting stuck wrong. Now, that doesn't mean you don't give loyalty to your good agent. Be very loyal, but don't be stuck in a contract. That's wrong loyalty. We don't like that. We don't have that. We don't prefer that. If you're not happy with us, then you're not happy with us. Why should you be tied with us? As simple. Now, the other minor things, others not minor but important things, is the agent full-time or part-time. The agent is working full-time job someplace else. They cannot be available to you. There's a home inspection. There are so many other things. This is your largest purchase. Are you about to work with a full-time or a part-time agent? But again, full-time does not guarantee a great agent. So don't take us wrong. A part-time agent may be very good, but you want to know, will this agent be available to you when you need that agent? Again, rudeness we talked about. If the agent is rude, if you see them, they're having an attitude with you, get rid of them instantly. Don't need an attitude. They're there to serve you. So get that. Now, you talk about designations. Designations show that the agent has been pursuing more education.
That's right.
Now, you don't need a designation. A very good agent may be so good that designation was not important to them.
Because the thing is with us as South Asians, we are always like after education, after designations, and we are like, इसने ज़्यादा पढ़ा है तो इसको ज़्यादा पता होगा.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Experience is better than designations, but designations show that you're pursuing them.
Knowledge is power.
Right, but I know of agents who took a designation 30 years ago, have never pursued education in the last 30 years. So designation is still in front of their name, but they haven't studied anything in the last 15 years when things have changed. So don't be fooled by a designation. I have so many designations that I took God knows how many years ago. Don't be fooled by that. What are we doing every day to make ourselves better?
And those two statements didn't come quite right that way.
No. They are
But you are very, you know your stuff.
Right. I'm saying my designations were a long time ago. They don't mean anything.
Yes.
But I am pursuing everything without
Exactly.
designation. So what Alka is saying is, Bhaiya is okay.
Yes.
If you want to work
I
with
think
them.
he is being very humble.
He's being very humble.
Very humble.
I'm being very honest that don't be carried away with a designation.
Yes.
There's so much more that goes into it. Like Alka said, it's a marriage, and it's not a marriage. It's a marriage for the business, but it's a relationship that continues on for years and years and years. And we have served people, grandparents, parents, their children, and then their children getting ready. There are multi-generations
That's right.
that are getting there. So it is because you take care of people. Are you being put first, or is the agent putting themselves first? Are they doing this for commission, or they're doing it for your best interest? You can tell. I think anybody can tell.
Yeah.
Let's talk about like market conditions and interest rate today. So tell me, what's the current state of the local real estate market?
So market there's still, in our area, there's no inventory. Whenever a home comes on the market, there's multiple people going after it, depending on if the home is kept right. So in today's market, buyers don't have time to get work done. So the more you can spruce up your home, and we will talk about that and how to prep your home for sale, but the more you can spruce up and spend some money, what are some basic things you can do? That's the best way. If your home is prepared right, it's like any restaurant, right? When you do a grand opening of a restaurant, if the food is not right and the ambiance is not right, the client isn't going to come back. And when you open up your house for sale, if your home is not staged well, if it doesn't smell right, if it's not kept right, the buyer is not going to like it. They're not going to bring their family back. So that's so important. Inventory is low. There are still multiple offers. And despite the interest rates, we have not seen so much of a challenge.
But is it like everywhere in New Jersey, or is it like
It's
just
still mostly everywhere in New Jersey.
Okay.
We are seeing in some areas far out some more inventory that's staying on the market a little bit longer. But in our areas where it's close to commute and everything, we're just not seeing any
Real
dent.
estate is local.
Yeah.
So what's happening locally drives the real estate there. If nothing is happening, or if the crime is going up, that's the number one problem, or the school ratings are dropping, the homes will stay on the market longer. Interest rate is the same every place, but those things do matter to people. What is the interest rate today? It's more around 7.25%. Sometimes you'll get 6 and 7/8. Sometimes you'll get 7.25%.
Yeah, it depends.
The rate changes. That's a 30-year rate. 15-year rate is about 0.5% less than that. If you can afford 15-year rate because of your income, it's the better way to go. But if you cannot afford it, always prepay your payments.
Yes.
Every month, add an extra payment towards principal, whether it's few dollars, a few $100s, a few $1,000.
This is an excellent tip. Don't drink that Starbucks and save that $5. And that $5 will add to $20 a week, and that $20 will be $100 a week. And I don't drink Starbucks, so I can say it, even though you.
Yeah.
But you just do that and pay it off. Pay off your mortgages, because the less you have, less debt you have on yourself, the better it is.
Right. Now, there is only one exception to it. You have a credit card, and that you're paying 18% on it. Then don't pay your 7%.
Yes.
Pay 18% first, and then come to 7%. But if you have no other debt, why keep on paying 7% interest rate on something? It's not necessary. So you can get rid of it quicker. Now, I personally like ARMs, ARM. They are adjustable rate mortgages. They are at a cheaper rate, so you have to make sure that you're getting a good value on it. They are fixed for 7 years. They're fixed for 10 years, so which means for 7 to 10 years, you're okay. Mortgage rates are high historically today. Only in 1980s, the rates used to be high. In the last 15, 20 years, the rates have not even been that high.
So, Sanjeevji, since you're talking about ARM, I just want you to talk about the difference between the fixed rate and the ARM.
Yeah, so fixed rate is fixed. 15-year means the rate is fixed for 15. 30-year means the rate is fixed for 30. ARM is an adjustable rate mortgage. You can get it for 1 year, 7 years, 5 years, 10 years, whatever. So whichever ARM you took, that's the rate you will be fixed. So that is still a fixed rate, but not for that longer term. That's all it is. So I like that, because 7, 8 years, you've saved that interest for so long. Even if you have to pay a little extra later, you've saved it
Absolutely.
in your years when you needed it the most.
Absolutely.
So it's a good way to go. But again, not everything fits one person.
Right.
You go with your comfort level, but 30-year mortgage is pretty much a waste. Who lives in a home for 30 years?
I do.
Me too. But remember, you may be living in the home for 30 years, but you paid it off much before that.
Right.
Yeah.
But you took a 30-year rate and paid a little higher interest rate for what? That's what I'm talking about, right?
Right.
So again, things are not all around. Everything is specific. Everything is done based on your requirements.
And
at
that's
that
where
time.
the buyer consultation comes
Exactly.
into. Not only just buyer consultation, but we being for you there to guide you on these things and suggest what it is. And then your mortgage person will tell you if this is the right program or what is the right program.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about the book, For It to Be, It's Up to Me, which is written by, of course, हमारे संजीव अनेजा जी ने वो किताब लिखी है. And of course, I want you to cover on that is lesson number 8, which says give up a bad habit. But let's put it like this. How do people consistently, follow their good habits?
Very good question. So first thing you said today was, let's talk about lesson 8. You didn't say chapter 8.
Okay, chapter 8.
So we don't want to call them chapters, we want to call them lessons.
That's right.
The reason we call them lessons is because
It's a life
everything we
lesson.
learn is a lesson, right? Chapter ठीक है, but lesson is more important. So what we were talking about is bad habits and good habits, right? We know what our bad habits are most of the time.
Yes.
We may have no control over them, but we know what the bad habit is. Smoking, good habit or bad habit?
Bad habit.
It's definitely a bad habit, but I'm sure there are some people out there, they'll say,
What a
"Hey, it's
beautiful
good habit."
answer. See, it's a bad habit for everybody who knows smoking is bad. It's a bad habit for those who are smoking too. They know that. But it's a good habit. There are people who said, I personally know of a physician who smokes so much, and I told him, stop smoking. And he says, whatever happens, happens. So he knows it's a bad habit, but he thinks it's a good habit. You think you're looking cool. But it's nothing cool about it. And the person who's standing next to you, poor person, is inhaling that smoke.
Yeah.
But then these people enjoy the company of smoking people. They go out and they hang out smoking with each other and not only taking in their own stuff, but inhaling
But it's a
other people's stuff.
It's a multi-billion-dollar industry.
It's a
So the
multi-
industry
so
felt
that
way.
industry has made you look cool through movies.
Yes. Yes.
Drinking, good habit or bad habit?
Drinking, for me, it's a bad habit, but for some people, it's a good habit.
Yeah,
And then red wine, if they
thing.
say you drink red
So red wine may be okay,
It
but,
makes them look
but
cool.
little,
If
not,
they feel they're cool,
not
they're
the
on
whole
top of the world.
Not the whole bottle of wine is good. It's a bad habit, especially if you're overdoing it. Especially, it's not a good habit, period. It's a bad habit because it will take you out of your senses.
Right.
It will mess you up, that. We have a cop in Edison, such a good guy from what I understand, 29 years old.
Yeah.
He was driving drunk, cop, police officer. 4 people in the car, he hit a pole, 2 people behind died.
Oh my God.
So 2 of his passengers, friends obviously, or whoever they were, died. He got injured, the front passenger got injured, his passport has been taken away. He has to report to the court, and he's going to have not death penalty, but he's going to have prison for life, unfortunately, because 2 people died. Now, I thought maybe if the parents don't pursue in the back, he may get something for his good behavior, but being a cop, the judge may not like it because you are pulling other people, but you're drinking yourself. If drinking was good, we would have been rewarded for it, not punished by the court.
Wow.
Drinking casual, give me a break. What is casual drinking? You go to some of these parties, Priya. You go to some of our parties, these people are drunk. I don't know what they go for because it's open bar. It's called open bar, right? Open bar means you get drink
Open
as
bar
much as you
means
want
आप
to.
बार-बार जा सकते
Na
हैं.
bar bar ja
Exactly.
sakte ho. You can drink as much.
Yes.
So you should have drink as much, and then you are driving drunk at the night.
So Sanjeev ji, you talked about self-awareness. So tell me, how important is self-awareness?
Very
and
important.
How can one achieve that?
You have to remind yourself every day, is this the right thing or wrong thing?
Yeah.
And you have to commit to it. You have to wake up. See, we talked about two very important things, but eating wrong is a bad habit. There are so many bad habits out there. But self-awareness, we are aware of it subconsciously. We just cannot give it up. So what you do is, tomorrow I'm not going to do this, one day at a time. Tomorrow I'm not going to have a sweet dish that has so much sweet in it. That will take care of one day, and then the second day, and then the third day. Tomorrow I'm not going to have fried food, and then next day, and then next day. Now, we are all guilty of it, including me.
Yeah.
We all have fried food, but can we not do it because we committed as self-awareness? Anything can be done when you do it. Anything cannot be done. I go home, till last week, 10 days ago, I used to go home and snack and all that. 10 days ago, I started intermittent fasting. Thank you to Alka. And you don't feel like eating because the self-awareness comes in. Everything is possible. Don't say, I cannot do it, because you can. This mind is very powerful. You can do anything you want to.
Absolutely.
So just go to God and say, God, give me this one day. I don't want to smoke tomorrow. You better believe you won't have to. 7 days later, you will not want to smoke. It's that easy.
Right.
But then all of a sudden on 8th day, we go to a friend
Party.
says, take a smoke, and then you do, and then you're back on
You're
the
like,
same
okay,
old
7 दिन करा तो it's
अब
good.
कोई बात नहीं, एक दिन तो चलता है.
Yes.
Yeah. So don't let a good habit stop by breaking it. Let it continue. It will work well.
Absolutely.
And Alka, any last words you want to say?
No,
Because
I'm perfect. Very good habits. I'm no bad habits at all. and with that lack of humility, and everybody lies to themselves. So we all, and I say that jokingly, but we all lie to ourselves,
Exactly.
thinking that whatever we do, it's not so bad. But it's not true. We all have bad habits, and you just have to work on them one at a time.
absolutely. And let's say goodbye for today, but we'll be
Absolutely.
back next week again, same time, same day. And thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.